At home. Didn't school start today? Oh.
Yeah, I heard. I do birthday schools that choose a kindergarten to go out for Sundays.
Oh, cute. Same spot?
No, we do a different one.
Cute.
So we had a little.
Nice.
Hello.
Is Carrie on the excuse?
Yes.
Yes. So Carrie, so we're at 27. Great.
Okay. All right. We're going to start, everyone. Not quite on time, but the best way to end on time is to start on time. So welcome, everyone. All right. Great. All right. So good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had some time to enjoy this lovely summer weather, and we are going to try to end promptly tonight. So we have a very slim agenda, which is unusual. Usually I say we limit everybody because we have so much to get through and we need to make sure we have time for the business. Tonight we have very little business, but it is a beautiful day outside, and I know many of you are sending your kids off to school tomorrow, and it's still the end of summer, and so we really want everyone to be able to get out and enjoy. So we are going to look to make it a short meeting this evening. My name is Jessica Chait. I'm Chair of Community Board 4, and I'm pleased to call this meeting to order. On a few housekeeping items, as all of you know, MCB4 has a hybrid meeting policy that can be found on our website. Board members are expected to attend meetings in person unless they have a disability and/or an extraordinary circumstance. Excused committee members and members of the public will still be able to participate virtually. And board members who are joining via Zoom, we ask and really require that you leave your cameras on. This meeting is being streamed live on our YouTube channel, and a transcript is being recorded. The meeting will live on our YouTube channel and is accessible by the public. As a reminder to all, our public session is made available before our meeting. We send it out and request people email the district office. For those joining us today in person and want to speak, you must raise your hand virtually by 6:45. So those attendees in our audience, virtually, we ask you to do that. And the sign-up sheet is typically placed outside and should still be out there until 6:45 for those in the room. We ask that you sign up before 6:45. So that's, you have 7 minutes still to sign up. And as a reminder, we ask that you sign up in an effort to be fair to all of those who are speaking and to the business. So everyone must sign up in advance. If someone comes in after 6:45 and wanted to speak, they should immediately email or contact the board office so they can speak at the next meeting. Tonight and going forward, we've asked everyone, including our electeds and their representatives, to limit their comments to 2 minutes. And we ask everyone to respect that time. As you will hear more about later, this is the time of year we start our budget process, which includes our district needs, excuse me. And for tonight, we are going to have a public hearing, and I'll call up our second vice chair, Roberta Barnett, to open that up. Oh, you were? Oh, okay. Sorry, Roberta. Jesse. I'm sorry.
Sorry. So I only have one person who signed up for the prior to the meeting to speak, but I don't see him on the list. Michael Arachi, are you in the room? Okay, I don't see you online either. So I think this hearing is closed unless there's someone else that wants to speak on the budget statement of district needs or budget request topic. Pam, I see your hand up, but I know you're signed up for the public session. I'm assuming that's what it's for. The hearing is closed.
Thank you, Jesse. With that, we're going to go next to our public session. And as always, I invite our first vice chair, Leslie Boghosian Murphy, to join us here and to lay out the ground rules and welcome our speakers. And seeing as it's only 6:40, we'll just watch the list for anybody else who wants to speak.
Thank you, Jessica. Rules are pretty much the same as for the electeds. Everyone gets 2 minutes to speak. I have 2 sign-up lists. One is in person and one is online. And we're going to go for in person today. So I'm just going to go down the list if that's okay with everyone. So why don't we, while I call you up, you could come 2 or 3 at a time. Alexa Cruz, Mary McGee, and Miguel. Oh, you know what? Why don't I do the NYCHA first? And then I know we have another one too in person. So Alexa, yes, I'm sorry.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Nice vacation you guys had. Um, I, I'm Alexa Cruz and I live in NYCHA. And I will always say, I was having a conversation with Miguel and the young lady here. And, I still say, I do respect your opinion and yours too. But I still say that Section 9 is safety for the low-income people. I don't want demolition. I want them to stay with Section 9. I don't want Section 8. I'm looking out not only for myself, but for low-income people. Because where we're gonna go? We're gonna be homeless within 20 years when they abide the rules, the new developers abide the rules, and then they decide to charge you $3,000 for a studio, which is $3,000, which people cannot afford. Okay, I will continue saying what I'm saying. I know I say the same thing over and over again, but please, somebody listen to us because we don't want to lose our homes. I worked a long time and I pay my taxes and I want to live like everybody else. And this world is everybody's world, like God said. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mary McGee, then Miguel Acevedo, and then Salinas.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mary McGee. I'm a former resident of Fulton Houses. I still care. Even though I left, I care. I was part of the working group, the first protest. When the working group started, that first protest, when they wanted to demolish 2 buildings, the community wanted that. I didn't see not one person fight and stand up until we got together and we fought against demolition of those 2 buildings. The reason I fought so hard is because I'm tired of you demolishing, taking away from NYCHA residents and giving nothing back. And that was the main issue. You wanted to demolish and give us nothing back, but yet NYCHA was going to benefit as a whole. But what about us? We're the ones being impacted. Now we're being offered to give back. They're giving us, giving them, I'm no longer a resident, but that's my family. They're giving them everything new, amenities, something that hasn't been heard of. These buildings that are being allocated to be built in replacement of the NYCHA buildings are for NYCHA residents, will always be Section 8, RAD Pact Section 8. So no matter if the developer within 20 years decides they don't want to be the landlord anymore, NYCHA has the right to replace them with somebody else who is willing to take over and do that job. Now, I care. There's so many people. If you go to Fulton Houses on National Night Out, a resident she was going out her mind because nobody was listening to her. When I was talking the last meeting, I said her bathroom ceiling fell and hit her, fell on her. To that day, August 6th, National Night Out, nobody did any repairs. Nobody did anything. All they did was put some plastic over her ceiling. I went and I got Miss Jimenez from Tony Simone's office and brought her into this woman's apartment. I don't know her, but I know she's a resident and she matters. She saw the conditions and thank God she did something. But we can't have residents living in these conditions and thinking it's okay. So fight for them, not against them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Miguel, and then Salinas.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Miguel Acevedo, the TA president at Robert Fulton Houses. One thing I'm going to comment on the Section 9. There's no bigger supporter for Section 9 than myself. I've been to Washington and back many times and spoke to Congress to preserve public housing through Section 9. Unfortunately, Congress doesn't want to give $1 to Section 9, so they created the Section 8 vouchers. Those vouchers are the only thing that's going to protect and preserve public housing. But the reason why I'm here is, as Mary brought up, I have a tenant who for years put in complaints about a leak in her toilet. Now that ceiling collapsed, it hit her, she ended up in the hospital for years, like I said, for years. And still today, They haven't done anything, the New York City Housing Authority. She has a big hole in the wall. This past weekend, another 60-year-old pipe broke in one of the buildings. What did it do? It flooded 10 apartments and all the staircases in that building. The elevators were out for days. This is what we're trying to tell you. If we continue to wait for the damage that happens daily at Fulton houses, these buildings in the near future will be condemned. And then where are these people going to really go? That's the reason why I support the demolition and the re-living conditions for us to have a habitable place, not a place where we're afraid to turn the water on because we don't know what's going to happen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I appreciate everyone who's on this board, who I know what it takes to be a board member. I was on the board for years. But remember, as an advisory, you need to look out for the community more than anything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. Salinas? And then I have someone here, Nakia, thank you very much.
Salinas Miranda from the Elliott houses. You saw Jackie's outburst but you have not witnessed mine. Just because you haven't witnessed mine does not mean I haven't had my own episodes. I've had sleepless nights. I've been depressed and on the verge of a breakdown. A psychological impact has been inflicted on myself and other FEC tenants with this proposal. It's unethical and cruel. Today, I am here to assure you that all of those of you who have been purposely involved in the deception and insisting on presenting a false narrative, including those who have violated our tenant rights to organize, there's a wrath that comes with that. Some call it karma. You cannot do bad, conjoin yourselves with bad people, and expect good things to come along your way. A whole community and lives will be affected, destroyed, and ruined. Related is nothing but a grain in the sand, powerful only in your own superficial world. I know a being who is mightier and will not tolerate this injustice. If this proposal goes through, it will be like having your home built on sand where there's no true foundation. You're all putting your trust in Related. Along with their past history of broken promises, they presently are in court in Brooklyn for wrongfully evicting residents and illegally flipping rent, stabilized apartments into market rate flats, and retaliating against tenants who organize a legal rent strike. You are being used. They need us to make this happen. Once the deal goes through, they will filter us out. NYCHA management will no longer be on campus, and you will no longer be protected under your Section 9 lease. There's no one to keep track and monitor the new management. I've heard of tenants under Related who are being blamed for the mistakes they make during recertification. Tenants have not been able to prove their good standing status because they're not required to exhibit the records. And the apartments that are supposed to be preserved for NYCHA residents, when they become empty, there's no one keeping track to the new tenants that are filling in those spaces. You are putting your trust and faith in the wrong place. Do not say you haven't been warned.
Next, Nakia, and then Hector Vasquez.
Okay, cool. I might hiccup a little bit because I don't love talking in front of people, but I'm going to take the opportunity to say I'm currently a resident at NYCHA, and I've experienced a lot of the things that people are mentioning when we talk about materials, ceilings falling off. But that doesn't mean I'm in support of the demolition. I'm going to use a few of my minutes to just go through some of the things that were mentioned, and that's how I'll use my 2 minutes. Okay, cool. I believe that people who currently live in NYCHA, although, past things, are probably the best people to talk about this. New amenities, I feel like, are just a Band-Aid, right? So if you show someone who's never had luxurious things, luxury, of course, they think that those things are better for them. But when we talk about the integrity of what it means to stay in those apartments, it goes beyond a dishwasher and nice cabinets. And I think that is a way to think about being preventative, right? So they said someone mentioned that you use Section 8, and if there's a need to replace them, that you can. But I think that's being it's a Band-Aid solution. It's not preventative. Let's start now by saying, let's secure the integrity of Section 9 and not have to go through this again, right? I also want to say that we are only considering outside resources as the solution for what's happening in NYCHA, right? So we're saying this is the offer that's given to us, so this is the one we should go with, right? There's a lot of other solutions, and I believe people shouldn't have ceilings falling on them, but I don't think we should rely on the rules book that we have out right now. I think there's other solutions, right? Also, I just want to say that, yeah, years of complaints. I've had years of complaints for sure as well. But I just think we should also advocate for other solutions that doesn't involve redevelopment and demolition. Where are the people post demolition going to go is another question. So yeah, thank you. Maybe I'll come back for another.
Thank you. Hector? Oh, great. And then I believe that's it. And then Jeffrey is our last public, and then we'll go online. Yep. Sorry.
Thank you. Evening, everybody. My name is Hector Vasquez. Even though I am a member of Community Board 4 and I've been on it for many years, I am not present P&E, which is present not eligible to vote on any issues concerning NYCHA, the redevelopment, unfortunately. But I'm here to say as a resident and active member of the community that this redevelopment is pretty much the only opportunity we have to do something about the horrible conditions that we are living in right now. I respectfully don't agree with some of the individuals that say, hey, there's other opportunities out there. We just need to look for it. You know, my apartment is nice is okay. There's no repairs needed. But unfortunately, the reality of it is that those individuals, some of them don't live here and don't even know what they're talking about. And the other ones that do live here, unfortunately, are in minority. Maybe they're fortunate enough that they've never had problems. Maybe they spent a little more money and they had more income than most of us do to fix up the apartments themselves, which is a normal thing because NYCHA, unfortunately, is very behind in repairs. Sometimes you don't get any kind of repairs. So you have to take it upon yourself or get someone in the community to help you to do these repairs, such as leaky faucets, a toilet that needs to be replaced, anything. I've helped several neighbors myself in that regard as well. I'm very handy myself, so when an emergency happens, I have to do something about it. But unfortunately, there are some situations that are way out of our scope and abilities, which is like the flood that happened a couple of days ago that Miguel Acevedo had just mentioned, which was horrible. And I'm not talking about a leaky faucet. We're talking about a river of water. If you saw videos, you would be, oh my God, where is this place? And it's here in New York. It's horrible. A lot of people over here don't understand that we live in this kind of situation every day. It was literally like a waterfall. Many apartments were destroyed. They will not be up to livable conditions for quite a while now, and you cannot expect NYCHA to step up and do the work. Redevelopment and rebuilding is the only way to go.
Jeffrey, board member, Jeffrey LaFrancois. And then we'll go to.
Thanks, Leslie. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeffrey LaFrancois, speaking for myself this evening. Real quick, Friday, I want to welcome you, invite you all to a blessing to welcome 100 life-size Indian elephants, handmade, that will be taking up residency in the Meatpacking District through October 20th, 4 p.m. on Gansevoort Plaza this Friday. But as I said, my name is Jeffrey LaFrancois. I've been a card-carrying member of this board for nearly a decade, but as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. I've made the difficult but important decision to step off the board, and tonight will be my last board meeting. My commitments to the causes that brought me to the community board remain: that we must plan the space for outside for the most vulnerable first and prioritize the free movement of people over cars, that public transit needs to be vastly improved and expanded, our parks need way more funding, and that we need to build a whole lot more housing, from very low income to middle and moderate, and yes, market rate housing too, because we are decades behind where we need to be to continue being the urban marvel where people can move to start a new life, as I did over 22 years ago. I continue these commitments as a board member of Housing Conservation Coordinators, CheckPEDS, and most recently the Hudson River Park Trust and New York Public Radio, which makes my plate very full, besides a very busy day job at the Meatpacking District bid. And so while my partner and I have used my civic schedule as a framework for how we scheduled date nights and vacations, I realized it was time for a change. To my longtime board colleagues, my, oh my, the things we have learned and accomplished together, thank you. To the new members, what a ride you are in for, and be excited. And do not also be intimidated to ask questions, make the motion, ask about old business during that portion of the meeting, and by all means call that question. If the Musical Comedy Committee ever reconvenes, I hope you'll still have me as a member. JD's here. Madam Chair, I look forward to championing you and the board from the sidelines. And as always, a big thanks to Jessie Bodine, Nellie, and Janine for making it happen. I thank you all. And of course, I will continue to see you around the neighborhood. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you for the thoughtful and nice, clear comments. I want to go down mine now. I don't know how to segue. I'm not a good segue after that. But do you want me to just call it out for you, Jesse, or just want to, because I have here, okay, Emily Dickinson. C. Lee. Nope. Michael Harachi again. I don't, if, okay. Why don't we start with Lisa then? Okay.
You're on mute.
Oh, yes. Lisa, can you hear me? I think you're on mute. If you can unmute yourself so we could see you in the room.
It's only been 4 years. Give me a break, right?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Lisa.
Wait, before you start my clock, I was so distracted by Jeffrey's announcement that I'm a little befuddled. But I will send you endearing emojis at a later date, Jeffrey. And I look forward to seeing the benefits of all your other wonderful civic commitments. Okay. Let's start the clock. My day job. Hello, I'm Lisa Wager, Director of Government Community Relations at the Fashion Institute of Technology, SUNY, on West 27th Street with the Residence Hall in the district on West 31st Street. I hope the board and staff had a restful and restorative summer. At FIT classes started on August 29th and campus is buzzing. You know, I always say FIT is everywhere, so of course, the college was represented at the Democratic National Convention by the very cool off-the-shoulder pale dress that Ella Emhoff wore Thursday night when she, along with Kamala's niece and goddaughter, talked about the woman they knew. Ella was dubbed Best Look of the convention, and her dress was by Joe Ando, FIT Fashion Design 2020, yes, 4 years out of college. And allow me to note that although Ella herself is a Parsons School of Design grad, she wore a dress by an FIT alum. Enough said? I think so. A new exhibition is opening September 21st in the Art and Design Gallery in the Pomerantz lobby. That's the Glass Box at the corner of 27th and 7th. Picturing Light is an exploration of the many manifestations of light and brings together the work of fine artists and photographers and exhibition, textile, and interior designers who respond to natural and artificial light. Some of the work explores the visible spectrum scientifically. Other pieces create environmental experiences through controlled lighting. Please stop in. It's up through October 27th. Now, you may have heard that FIT President Joyce F. Brown has announced she will step down at the end of this academic year after leading and evolving the institution over 26 years. She has been an extraordinary and transformative leader, and she leaves a legacy of accomplishment across many platforms, from curricular to institutional structure, from the college's culture to the concrete realities of physical expansion, including our first new academic building in over 40 years, in which classes will be held in the spring semester. A search committee will undertake the process of filling Dr. Brown's exceptional shoes, and she does have many exceptional shoes. Lastly, public programming is starting next week, so please check our website, news.fitnyc.edu, to see what's coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Jesse, anyone else? I only have 2 more on the Bobby Pierce and Pamela Wolf. Great. Pamela, can you hear me?
Yes,
we
I
could
can.
see you. Oh, great. Okay, your 2 minutes starts now.
Does it really? Wow. Well, first off, before you start my 2 minutes, I would love to say how I was absolutely floored by Jeffrey's resignation, and I just want to wish him all the best success in all of his various enterprises. he's a force of nature, that one. I am here tonight, not as a CB4 member, but representing the Chelsea West 200 Block Association. I just want to make comments on 3 letters that I don't know whether they've already been through exec and they're here to be ratified. I didn't catch that. But anyway, 3 locations within my block association. One is Kona on 21st Street and 7th Avenue, which is a very pleasant, very good addition to the community. They want a sidewalk cafe. They already have it. I'm heartily in favor of it. I only hope that they stick within the restrictions of their footprint. The next is Sleeping Cat. Very similar bakery on 7th Avenue between 20th and 21st Street. No, between 19th and 20th Streets, which is a wonderful addition to the community. And wow, their stuff is really good. Everyone should patronize them. They also want a sidewalk cafe, and they should absolutely get it. The third is Crown Alley, which is on 19th Street and 8th Avenue on the north side, on the north corner. They're expanding and taking up more space. They have been somewhat problematic, let us say, but we've been in negotiation with them. This block association has, and to what I think is a reasonably good result. I'm just saying a little caveat. We just need to keep our eyes open and be watchful that they stick to what they've agreed to. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Pamela. And if we don't have any of the others? Yeah. Michael Harachi, if you could hear me, I believe you are signed up to speak for the public session and you are online. If you can raise your video hand, your Zoom hand, and Jesse can send you over. No. Oh, wait. No. 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 Yep, wrap it up. Okay, here ends the public session. Thank you. No? Oh. Oh, sure, bring Carla, yeah. Oh, Carla, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello. Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, I believe. Can you just try it one more time?
Yes.
It sounds like you're really far away or an echoey sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Your 2 minutes will start now. Is that what you raise your hand for public session, 2 minutes?
I raised my hand to provide some updates for a nonprofit organization.
Sure,
that I'm
let me just
representing
start
today.
your 2 minutes and then go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
All yours.
Okay, perfect. So, hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Carla Russos. I'm not sure if you can see me. The Community Relations Coordinator at Ryan Chelsea Clinton. We are located in the heart of Hell's Kitchen. This is on 645 10 Avenue between 45 and 46th Street and 10 Avenue. So I'm here just to talk about Ryan Chelsea Clinton. We are here for you, for the community, on primary care for children, adults, and seniors, and including HIV services, diabetes, and women's health. We also provide services on primary care and specialties and other services like labs, x-rays, eye care, and dental care. So we do have some updates about back to school event that I would like to invite the community. So we're gonna be having an event Saturday, September 14, which is not this Saturday, but the next one. And at Ryan Chelsea Clinton Community Health Center, and this will be for a community event for children, and we're gonna be giving out some school supplies as well as dental supplies for anyone who would like to come and have some activities for the parents and the children. So just join us, and thank you so much. If you would like more information, just check our website, www.ryanhealth.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. And now really here ends the public session. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. We'd sometimes have fireworks during the public session, but not typically of this nature. Jeffrey, let me thank you for your service, and I join in everyone who applauded you and thanks you for all of your hard work, and we know you're not going too far. Okay, with that, everyone should have a copy of tonight's agenda. As I mentioned, it is quite brief. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda? Thank you. One over here, second. Great. Viren, all in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Great, thank you. And we have the minutes. I want to thank Katie Stokes and Alice Wang for their work in preparing them. Can we get a motion to adopt the minutes? Thank you. Thank you, Christine. All in favor? Great. Any opposed? Great. Thank you all. At this point in our meeting, we'll hear from our elected officials. We do ask folks to consider limiting their remarks to 2 minutes. We know it's brief, but in respect for our agenda and the lovely, lovely weather outside. But tonight we are very blessed and fortunate to have Senator Hoylman-Sigal join us here in person. So we will call you up and await your remarks. Thank you. Sorry for the false start there.
Good to see you. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, everyone. State Senator Brad Hoylman-Sigal. Also devastated to hear the news that Jeffrey LaFrancois is not going to re-up his membership on Community Board 4, but know that he will stay active. And have you thought about your elephant exhibition, which, by the way, I saw them being erected in the meatpacking district. Have you thought, like, there's a pun there, meatpacking district, meat pachyderm district? Yeah. Okay, whatever. I just want to thank the board for all of your work over the summer on every issue that my team, Jonah Rose is here, whether it's congestion pricing, the Port Authority, the new Bayview supportive housing project, Pier 76, Penn Station, Fulton, Elliott, Chelsea, illegal cannabis shops, and casino proposals. Those aren't illegal yet. Stay tuned. But I wanted to thank you for all that work and appreciate it. This morning, I should let you know that I was uptown with Jonah, with a group of advocates and elected officials objecting to the mayor's very punitive 30, 60-day eviction policy for migrants. It is an outrage, especially with school starting tomorrow. We learned at that press conference that one student had been moved to 4 different schools during the school year. I mean, how heartbreaking is it that children are caught in this political nonsense? And I've introduced legislation along with Assemblymember Catalina Cruz to repudiate the mayor's policy at the state level, to basically invalidate it. So hopefully we'll get some traction on that once the legislative session begins. Wanted to let you know, if you don't know already, that a bill that we collaborated with a CB4 about on e-bikes was signed by the governor. This is actually specifically about gasoline-powered mopeds. Once the governor signed our bill, now it means that you cannot take a gasoline-powered moped out of a retail shop without first licensing it with the New York State Department of Transportation. So that's an important bill because we've seen a lot of those mopeds without license plates. That makes it much harder for NYPD and enforcement to occur, but hopefully that'll make a difference. So thank you for your support on that. Second, wanted to let you know that I'm having a town hall on Sunday, September 15th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Museum of Natural History, where we're going to be discussing e-bike safety. A number of Community Board 4 members were at the Midtown Community Justice Center Symposium on e-bikes. They're going to be presenting their findings and making further recommendations. We're also going to be talking about our new good cause eviction law that protects protects market rate tenants in many ways. And we're going to discuss that with the crowd. And then finally, we're going to have a portion of our town hall on anti-Semitism with some findings from some experts on anti-Semitism, both in New York City and elsewhere. So hope you can make that. Third, rather, we published our annual family resource guide for the beginning of the school year, which of course tragically starts tomorrow. I have a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old, but and we had to set the alarm clock today for 6:20 a.m. tomorrow. It's pretty daunting. Anyhow, we'll be handing these out at a number of our public schools in the district tomorrow. And then finally, just wanted to note that we're grateful that the governor signed 2 more bills of mine. One, to create more family court judges. There's a crisis in our family courts. In Manhattan alone, there's a backlog of 9,300 cases. Family court, for whatever reason, probably because it mostly serves lower income people, is viewed by many as a second-class court. We have to change that. One of the ways we change that is getting new judges. We created 28 new ones in the budget to hopefully clear that backlog. We'll continue to work on that. I'm chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, so this is an issue that is most certainly in my wheelhouse. And then finally, 5th on my agenda is Pier 76, which I mentioned already, but also the plan which I worked on with a number of folks here and Assemblymember Simone to finally move the helipad out of the park itself, as is dictated by law, but we have finally set a time frame for that, and I'm very glad that the governor signed our bill. So thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you at your town hall, at our town hall on the 15th. Thanks, Jessica.
And good luck with your early morning to you and all the parents. Okay, we're going to now go to Yiyi Wang, representing Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy fall. I too will have to take my daughter to school for the first time tomorrow morning. So wish me good luck with that. So I'll start my report. On the policy front, as you may have seen, the borough president has been highlighting the issue of ghost cars. You've probably seen them out on the street, bent or defaced license plates, plastic covers, paper plates, and there have been some devices that cover the plate at a push of a button. So as the BP says, it's James Bond level technology that we're seeing out there. It is dangerous and led to hundreds of millions in unclaimed tolls and fines each year. So some of our recommendations are, the first one is RFID tags on registration stickers to tie the car, the registration, and the plate in one tidy format, and providing NYPD traffic enforcement with training and equipment to recognize and ticket, using AI tools to identify partial plate matches, increase fines and penalties for vehicle owners caught with a fake plate, and calling on vendors to stop the sale of fake plates on virtual marketplace. And the next is on September 10th from 4 to 6 p.m. in collaboration with the CUNY Law Resource Network and Grand Street Settlement, we will host a workshop at Grand Street Settlement at 80 Pitt Street. The event will connect housing tenant lawyers with our community to help answer questions on housing and tenants' rights. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. I can give you a link to the RSVP. The next one is our leadership training series. Our leadership training series is returning for all of our new board members who haven't participated before. On top of mandatory training such as conflict of interest, equal employment, and implicit bias, we will also be hosting sessions on land use, budget, and more. So we expect to host these sessions in both the afternoons and evenings the week of October 28th to November 2nd. So please save the date. And also, last but not least, join the Manhattan Borough Presidents in the upcoming African American Day Parade on Sunday, September 15th, 2024 in Harlem. So if you're interested, please reach out to our event team at events@manhattanbp.nyc.gov. That's all. I hope that's 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you
No
very
problem.
much. We're now going to turn to State Senator Liz Krueger's representative, Dana Schmersler.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me tonight. Dana with Senator Liz Kruger, and I will just give you two quick updates. We're holding two events, one in September and one in October. The first is our 5th session of our virtual older adult roundtable series. This one is focused on new technology designed with older adults in mind. It will be Thursday, September 12th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And we will have the executive director there from Older Adult Technology Services, along with a assistant technology consultant who works for the JCC. And then in October 1st, we will have an older adults benefit clinic. We're partnering with Live On New York. They're an amazing nonprofit in the district who works with older adults to make sure that they are on as many benefits as they are eligible for. So if you think you might be eligible for food stamps, HEAP, which could help pay for your heat in the winter, the senior citizen or disability rent freeze program, if you're interested in getting on Medicaid or the Medicare savings program, I strongly urge you to come to this event. It will be on October 1st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You will meet one-on-one with a benefits expert, and you can call our office at 212-490-9535 to get information for both events. And coming up in our in October, we will have our senior roundtable series. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll go to District Attorney Alvin Bragg's representative, Eric Straza.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much. Great seeing everyone this evening. Hope you've been enjoying your summer. Just a few updates I wanted to provide, both some things that we've been doing over the summer, then also some events that we have coming up. We welcomed a bunch of new rookie assistant district attorneys over the summer, so they've been getting oriented in the office. We also welcomed tons of high school interns, gun violence prevention fellows, legal fellows, college interns, and other groups. So it was a great experience for everyone involved. We also issued gun violence prevention grants. I believe I announced it before the summer break, but it essentially involves paying community-based organizations to then pay younger New Yorkers to participate in meaningful programming throughout the summer months and use their time constructively. Oftentimes that involves enhancing and beautifying public spaces like parks and known hotspots for gun violence. We'll also be in the next few weeks holding trainings for Jewish community centers, leaders, and groups on the Upper East Side and Upper West Side for now. We're looking at expanding them, but they're CJI trainings basically on how to improve safety, public safety, and security as well, with some crime prevention tips. I know that especially over the last year, as there has been a rise, as many of you know, in anti-Semitic incidents, the DA has been doing a lot of outreach to Jewish community leaders. I know I've talked about our Art of Healing festivals in the past as well. We're doing another one in the Lower East Side after violent incidents at Tompkins Square Park. I know that that's not necessarily in the CB4 area, but they are borough-wide events, and it's an opportunity to help your fellow community members heal through the arts. So it involves a lot of things like dancing, spoken word, arts and crafts. It's a great place to bring kids if anyone's interested. And if you want more details about those events coming up, please feel free to contact me. I can give you some more information on that. Last thing I wanted to just put on people's radar, some press releases that we recently put out pursuant to indictments and sentences relating to some cases that a lot of the community had heard about in the recent past over the last month or so. We announced charges against an individual for sex trafficking. Allegedly, they kidnapped a teenager outside of Covenant House. I know it's very close by. Also, an indictment related to a hate crime committed by a man for anti-Muslim attack in Midtown in early August. An indictment for a man for fatally stabbing a neighbor in Midtown. And finally, a guilty plea of an individual related to an unprovoked subway shoving in Times Square. There's more information on all the press releases on our website. I just wanted to make sure people were aware in case they wanted to find out more about those cases. I think that's it. I'll hand it back to you guys, and thanks so much. Great seeing everyone again.
Thank you, Eric. All right, with that, we've heard from all of our elected, so I'm going to turn it to our district manager for his report.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jesse Bodine, District Manager, Community Board 4. I'll be very quick. First off, I just wanted to give a very special shout out to Alexa Cruz, who came early and also helped me set up this entire room. So thank you very much. That was really nice of you. I also want to say thank you to Jeffrey for the kind words and all of the years of service. And it was a pleasure to work with you. Yes, most times. Yeah. A quorum of the time. 50% plus one. As we all know, MCB4's hybrid meeting policy remains in effect with no changes currently. September committee schedule, Business License and Permit Committee will be meeting earlier than normal at 6 p.m. instead of 6:30 p.m. The Cannabis Task Force will be meeting on Tuesday, September 17th instead of its normal Thursday, September 19th. And this month we'll have the Budget Task Force meeting on Monday, September 23rd at 5 p.m. before the regularly scheduled Exec Committee meeting. All other committees should be and will be meeting at their regular dates and time. I just want to highlight October. I know I sent this out with the full board notice last week, but I want us to make sure since we're all in the room together, October is always a difficult month for us because of a number of holidays. So just to be clear, October full board will be meeting on Tuesday, October 1st, not its normal Wednesday. Housing, Health, and Human Services will be meeting right now on Thursday, October 17th. Arts, Culture, Education, and Schools Committee will be meeting Tuesday, October 15th. Budget Task Force will be meeting Wednesday, October 23rd. Nominating Committee will be meeting on Thursday, October 24th. So that is what it is tentatively. Things might change, but there, I've said it. That's it.
Thank you, Jesse. I'll just be brief with a chair report this evening. At our last meeting, we heard from the Port Authority on the bus terminal, and this next Wednesday, September 11th, MCB4 will be providing testimony as there's a hearing on the Port Authority bus terminal for the Department of City Planning. Additionally, you heard that this begins our Statement of District Needs and Budget process. I want to thank again Roberta as second vice chair for leading this process. The Budget Task Force will be meeting on Monday, September 23rd at 5 p.m. before the regularly scheduled Executive Committee meeting. Committee discussion and vote will begin in September and October, and so this is particularly notable for the chairs of those committees to be sure that you're looking and prioritizing this on your agendas, but also for people to come prepared to those discussions, having reviewed last year's budget requests and reviewed the Statement of District Needs. And the committee is really a place to provide additional comment and feedback. And then that will then be lifted back up at the Budget Task Force meetings. So really the committee work is exceptionally important. In November, we'll take a full board vote on that. And as always, relevant budget material can be found on our website, and topic-specific committee material will be sent in the Dropbox or be available in your Dropbox by committee. Additionally, we will begin, it's kind of hard to believe, but we will also be beginning our nominating committee process again. I believe the first meeting is on October 24th. I want to acknowledge and thank our nominating committee for this year, chaired by Alice Wang, joined by Wendy Gonzalez, Matt Green, Josephine Ishmam, Gregory Morris, Tina Nelson, and Rodney Washington. Just a few notes on the nominating committee: that Alice is going to be stepping down as co-secretary, making that role available. We hope people will consider participating in that role, but also allows her to serve as nominating chair. Any current executive officers and board members looking to be considered for an officer position, please send an email with your resume to Jesse as soon as possible. And we want to make a quick note and request that any communication about anybody who you may want to see run for a position, or perhaps see not run or be selected for a position, all of that communication is most appropriate and must go to Jesse. It is not appropriate for that communication to go directly to members of the nominating committee. So your perspective, your thoughts, your voices are all welcome. Those meetings also are open to the public, so you could attend, but specifically, if you have any communication, please send to the district office, as is typically most appropriate anyway. And that is the chair report. I'll just, on a personal note, again, want to thank Jeffrey for all of his leadership and guidance. And I'm looking forward to, I know it's like beginning of the school year. Feels like we're kicking new things off, and wanted to say that I'm excited for the work ahead. And as we saw in July's meeting, we have a lot of it, very important projects. I'm delighted for the new members that are all here, and really for you to feel like you're getting to sink your teeth into the work that's ahead of us. With that, we'll move to the business portion of the meeting. As I mentioned, we have a brief business portion beginning and ending with BLP. I'm going to ask Bert, where did I just see Bert? Excuse me. Bert to present, and then we'll take questions in person. As a reminder, we only accept questions on the business portion from members of the board, but we'll start in person and then follow with anyone online who has any questions. So with that, Bert. Is it on? Is your mic on? It should go green. Great, give it a shot.
Now it should be on. Perfect. Okay, brief, right? So don't be intimidated by 25 letters. We'll be brief. Okay? I'm going to bunch them in this order. We have 5 ratifications. The ratifications went to the Department of Transportation. As you mostly are aware, that the process now for sidewalk cafes goes through DOT. For street platforms, DOT. And they are time limited. So when we get them, we have a limited amount of time to respond. So that's why these first 5 items, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, had to go out. So that's why it's only a ratification. So I would like to bunch those 5 items and see who's in favor of agreeing with the ratification.
Are there any questions on the 5? No. Okay. Do you want to introduce the next?
Are we going to do it at the end then?
We vote at the end, yeah.
Okay, we'll vote at the end. Thanks, Inga. Okay, the next items on the agenda are also current DOT items. That's items 7, 8, and 9. Current meaning that we're within the time limit. Okay, I want to mention that our experience of this DOT process, which is new, granted, it's new. But to boast a little bit, our committee knows more than DOT. Okay? They're starting out fresh, new, whatever, untaught, whatever the reasons. They basically say, oh, this is good. The applicant comes in, oh yeah, this is fine, wonderful, great, approved. And they send it to us. It's not like it used to be we initiate and send it out. They send it to us. And then what we do, we have tape measures. We actually go out, members of our committee, Christine on almost every one, okay, and measures. Oh no, this is not 8 feet. This is like 12 feet. How did they approve it? And so in these letters we're sending to DOT, we remind them there's a difference between 12 feet and 8 feet. And we also remind them, you saw the photos that the applicant sent you? It's not quite appropriate. Did you notice that they have some tables on the property next door, which is not theirs? Clearly they didn't notice it, but our eyes, I guess, are in better shape than theirs. So the next items are those 3 for DOT. The remaining items, 10 through 25, I call them our traditional DLP letters. letters for changes of practice, a new owner, simple kind of letters, changes that people want to go from a liquor license that's only wine and beer and cider to a full liquor license, and then full liquor license. And if you're not familiar how our operation is, we negotiate. We negotiate. An applicant comes and always, 4:00 a.m. We listen to people from the community, what else we have in the neighborhood. And we say, how about 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday and 12 a.m. on the rest of the week? It varies, but I'll just pick that out. And they, well, let's talk about it. We'll get back to you in 5 minutes. Oh yeah, it'll work. And there are other negotiations. That's the most prevalent kind of negotiations over time. But there are negotiations over music. There are negotiations over windows, etc. So it's all incorporated, the final results, with what we call stipulations that they sign off. It's not that we just say, do this. They agree to it. And it becomes part of the methods of operation that are approved by the State Liquor Authority. So if there are any questions?
Mike, JD. Please just make sure it's on.
Is it on?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry about this. Bert, item 13, there is a restaurant on 47th and 10th called Añejo, but this is an application for something called Food Festival or something. Is it the same? Have they changed their name? It's next door to Añejo. Right. I got you.
Yeah, that replaces the Ethiopian. Thanks for reminding me.
So it's not an Añejo, even though are they removing the picture of that enclosed space, that enclosed sidewalk cafe along 47th Street? That was a question that came up.
You mean Añejo or the other one? Which one?
Is it Añejo, I guess? I mean, I'm confused.
Añejo is coming in front of BLP next,
Okay.
this Tuesday.
Okay,
And Frank and I have had extensive
gotcha.
visits.
That clears that up. Thank you.
There's a question next to you, Bert. Brad has a question.
Bert, item 25, I know you denied it. I just want to know, what is the view? Because this is a bodega, and are we giving bodega beer and license to drink inside? So besides them not showing up, I just wondering what is the board's process on that?
Well, bodega, it's a retail food outlet. Item 25. It's in the base of London Terrace. They also have food where you could eat there. That's the difference. Gristedes does not have a place to sit down and eat the food you're buying. They do. Distinction. Maybe too fine for you, but it's a distinction.
Can you give him the mic back?
If someone could sit there and put a chair and a table and say, you can have your sandwich there, let alone 12 beers, it's a little different. That's all I'm trying to get at. And I've seen a lot of people hanging out there, so it's more than just, someone having a sandwich. Nobody's eating.
But to clarify, we denied. This was a deny.
Not denied on a policy.
As to the policy level that we don't officially have, we did recently, within the last few months, deny one a across the street on 23rd, the Valley Health Food, whatever, they wanted to sell beer to their customers and let them sit inside. And that's strictly yeah, and we said no, and every day I go by and people are in there drinking beer and we denied it and the SLA didn't give them a license. So I'm gonna reach out to Eric's office again and try to get them to stop. I have pictures of people sitting there inside the deli, bodega, drinking
I think
beer.
let's do this back at committee, but thank you for raising it. Is there another question on any of the specifically?
Thank you. Bert, you kind of touched on this, but 5 of the first 9 letters had wrong measurements. And I was just curious as to, are there new regulations? Is the measurements wrong by the applicant? Is the measurements wrong by an agency analyzing it? What's going?
Well, I don't know if they all had off,
They
but-
did. I went back and read every
Okay.
letter.
My experience, and Christine probably has a better experience, more intimate, is that the DOT, the original applicants are not measuring correctly or not inserting correctly, and the DOT doesn't pick it up. Do you want to add something?
I think the new guideline says that the applicant, in the past, they had to hire an architect. And the new rule is like they can draw the thing themselves. So that gives them a tremendous amount of flexibility and creativity on where things should be and how they are and where are they. And, it's
Yeah,
very
I don't-
loose.
I
It's
don't know
very
what conclusions
loose.
to draw from that, because how hard is it to measure from point A to point B?
Right.
It's either 4 feet or 6 feet.
So I'm just saying there is room for a lot of creativity. And if you don't go, even one of them, we said, oh, it looks good. But then we went and we say, oh, no, it's not good. So even with a picture, it's difficult to settle that,
And the key word is creativity, which is a very diplomatic way to say something else.
Okay, thank you. There were no questions online? Great. Thank you, Bert. Thank you, BLP.
Is it brief enough?
Okay, we're gonna now call for a vote. Thank you though for your presentation, and I'm gonna call Katie up to lead us in that process. I'm just kidding. You did have 25 letters. It's a lot of work, and you were the only committee who met this summer, and we thank you all for your hard work in August.
Hello there. Okay, so I think everybody knows the drill. I'm going to call out names. I'm going to repeat what you say, and we don't have any special votes, so it's just tell me sort of 1 through 25. And we're starting with Ted. Ted's not here. We're starting with Roberta. Roberta is yes to all. Christine? Yes to all. Gwen? I don't see, is Gwen online? Gwen is not here. No, Leslie's next on my sheet at least. Leslie? Yes to all. Viren? Yes to all. Liam? Yes to all. Kevin? Yes to all. Lisa, David? Not here. Marty?
Yes to all.
Yes to all. Paul? Yes to all. Pete Diaz? Yes to all. Max Goodstein? Yes to all. Matt Green?
Yes to all.
Yes to all. Jesse Greenwald? Not here. Flipping the page. Candace? Yes to all. David Haluka? Yes to all. Frank? Not here. Josephine? Yes to all. Inga? Yes to all. Carrie?
Yes to all.
Yes to all. Ella? Yes to all. Bert? Yes to all. Bert, I think you did a lovely job with the letters this evening. Christopher? Not here, it sounds like. Rachel? Not here. Jeffrey, your last vote. Well, Yay, yes to all. James. Yes to all. Betty.
Yes to all.
Yes to all. Sanford. Yes to all. Shanice. Yes to all. Gregory. Yes to all. Tina. Yes to all. Mike Noble.
Yes to all.
Yes to all. JD. Yes to all. Maria. Yes to all. Alan. Yes to all. Brad. Yes to all. I don't think Joe was here tonight. Joe's not here. Neither is Dolores. Katie. Yes to all. Me, Katie. Yes to all. Hector. Yes to all. David Warren. Yes to all. Rodney Washington. Yes to all. And no, actually not the last person, Alice. Yes to all. And now the last person actually is Jessica.
Thanks to Jeffrey, yes.
Yes to all. All right, I think that's everybody. Back to you.
Thank you all. Yes, we have set a record this evening for the shortest board meeting. And with that, can I get a motion to adjourn? Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Thank you all. Have a great night. Enjoy the